wings to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal parts about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode. 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 Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal parts about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode. 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 The secret PinCode. 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 PinCode.
Oh, good day, my captive audience. This is the first of my video logs that I start today. I'll use these to remember a lot, since I always forget to write things down in a notebook. The purpose of these is to document all the adventures we've had over the past couple of months. All the dangers we experienced in a rickety old spaceship.
Old? Excuse you. I'm barely 10.
Huh? Oh, it's you. How did you even track me down? I'm so glad you could join me and help me make these videos.
Thought you could just leave me in the garage, huh? Well, maybe that's how you treat your old refrigerators. But I'm a prime piece of intergalactic machinery and expect to be treated as such.
That's what I get for installing SAS.
I'm sure it's just your small, primitive avian mind that left me all alone and that you simply forgot. Let's just go with that. Lucky for you, I'm here to help remember your adventures. I was there too, after all.
Oh, fine. Adventures began for us just before we went into outer space. We learned about environmental science right inside our own village. It started, as so many things do, with Crash making terrible decisions that harm the environment. Hold it! Well. Out for a drive, huh?
Sort of.
Ugh. Do you know how much fuel you're using?
Probably a lot.
Let's see.
Oh, man. Guess it is a lot.
Yes, that's right, Crash. It is a lot of exhaust. Don't you realize that this car is dangerous to the environment? It seems you need to learn about emissions. Crash was a one-man natural disaster, a long-eared hurricane.
Why was the rabbit so attached to such an old machine anyway? I would have dismantled it and never told him.
Well, we came up with something even better. We took his rickety gas-guzzling old car and gave it an eco-friendly electric engine.
Hey, Pin, is it ready?
Hang on. Almost done. Start her up, Crash.
Hey, Chico, want to ride? It's no hot rod, but maybe I'll get used to it.
Amazing! If we were able to change Crash's mind, think of what else we could do.
That's all you remember?
Because that's the important part. He could still get his speed on with no damage to nature.
Aw, but you left out the most exciting part.
Stop! Crash! Well, you know, crash! Oh no! Can we go back for my car?
If I hadn't been there, this story would have been a tragedy instead of a comedy. So you know, you're welcome.
You're right, you sure saved the day. Now we have more stories to tell, if you'd be so kind.
I am, actually.
Look at that! The fertilizer worked!
Holy carrots! This thing's a world record!
Barry brought gardening to new heights. Literally. His pumpkin was a feat of wonder. But we weren't the only ones admiring it. Barry's land had some sneaky pests waiting to strike. And they were hungry. Crash did everything to fight them off, but they just kept coming. Oh, they were persistent.
But then the beautiful and brilliant spaceship saved the day by swooping in and carrying that old pumpkin out of reach. Once again, you're welcome.
What? That's not how it went at all. I think my avian brain remembers it better. We used science to make the pumpkin invisible. Rosa had the idea, but I put it to use. You see, I can make these videos alone.
It's your opinion that you solved it differently. I just stated alternative facts.
Yeah? And I should give you an alternative hard drive.
Come on. My version has more zing. Like a Hollywood movie.
I'll just move on to the next adventure we had.
No, please, go on.
I am on the verge of an amazing discovery in the subject of genetics.
Doko made some amazing breakthroughs in the study of DNA and made a rapidly growing carrot.
Come and look at it. Possibly the greatest achievement in the entire history of genetics. You might say that I put the gene in genius, or the genius in gene.
Or not.
Uh-huh. Oh? But where is it? My greatest discovery! And it's gone!
Well, well. Never leave your expanding food items alone and unattended, especially when your friends really love their veggies. The carrot was gone. A mysterious theft. Well, they always said veggies make you grow big and strong.
You don't see that every day.
Well, spread my fertilizer. Where on earth is, well, everything? Hello.
Get out of my way! Let go of the wheel!
We need to fly higher!
We
Just
need to
give
turn
me the
right.
wheel!
Right?
Up!
Right?
Up!
What in the turnip is this?
Oh! 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 Oh!
The situation seemed hopeless. Our tiny cries couldn't be picked up by Barry's big ears, and we would have been in trouble if not for...
The brilliant, hardworking, and of course, humble spaceship.
Whoa! Why, you come here! No! No! Get over here!
That's wrong. It never went like that. We would never bring Barry down by force. Crash and Chico climbed right up to his big ears and made him hear us. Barry finally calmed down, and then we explained the situation. Then all was just fine.
Whatever. My version has more drama. I would know. I studied Chekhov.
And when did you have time for that? Or was this just alternative Chekhov? I think you're becoming quite the attention hog.
Actually, I found Chekhov next to that file you just downloaded. The audiobook called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Penguins.
All right, done! That's enough. I'll go do the rest of this alone. Got it?
Come on, Pin.
Go home.
Please, just let me explain myself. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to be a part of your adventures like all your other friends. I thought how much fun it would be if I were the main character in one of your stories, even just once. I'm normally stuck in the background, biding my time, a useless set piece.
No, you're not useless. No way.
Really?
Of course, Ship. None of that would have been possible at all without you.
You're just saying that.
No, wait. I have an even better idea. A brand new story. One where you're the hero and I'm the fool who gets saved.
I like it. Apology accepted. Hey, Ship! You can come save me now, okay? Ship? Earth to Ship! I said you can come save me! Well, maybe I should have thought this through more. Hello? Anyone? Spaceship! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of our video logs. Unfortunately, Pin couldn't make it today. I think he's busy reading self-help books. Luckily, I'm here to set the record straight on all my heroic deeds and brave adventures. I'm far more entertaining, so you're welcome in advance.
Good tidings! This marks the first video log of our adventures, by me. The purpose of which is to document all our adventures we've all shared through space and time with this ship. It's sort of a play-by-play, a recap, if you will. Oh, sauerkraut, not this again! Computer, I need help!
Computer speaking. I'm afraid your request cannot be completed at this time.
What do you mean it can't be completed? It's a simple task!
I don't like your tone. And you didn't even ask if I wanted to be a part of your video logs. But the second something messes up, it's all, oh, computer, suddenly I need you.
You want to be in the logs too? I mean, that's fine, it's no big deal.
Well, if you're gonna beg me, I guess I have time. You may proceed.
Thanks, computer. Okay, where was I? I should begin. So, we should begin with an introduction. I'm Pin, and this is my computer, who's great.
Yes. Go on.
Huh? These past few months, our little expedition has gotten us into all kinds of scientific bungles. Often, our quest for knowledge came with great danger.
If I may add my 2 kilobytes, it seems a lot of this could have been avoided if you all followed my safety instructions.
What do you mean, safety instructions? They were all random accidents. Everything we encountered came with exploring dangerous terrain. Safety instructions wouldn't help. Don't restart them!
Whoops. As Pin was saying, these incidents could have been avoided with my instructions, like having an experienced pilot.
Rosa, go and fire the ship's engines up. We can use it to change the asteroid's course, and then it will not collide with the planet.
But I don't know how to pilot the ship.
You'll have to learn as you're doing it. That's how all the best pilots are trained. That's a lie, but you got this. You're looking for a big switch that says on. Or no, if you're looking at it from the wrong side. Nine, that's the Boogie Wonderland switch. Keep looking. Nine, headlights. Okay, at this point you've literally hit all of the wrong buttons. That's Rosa for you, huh? But we all survived, right?
Is she the one responsible for the honey in my cockpit?
Just beautiful. What?
Is everybody all right? Yeah, fine. Great. Holy carrots! We're upside down.
Like I said, safety instructions.
Oh, everyone needs a snack once in a while.
What about when Chico decided to take on electricity?
It's far worse than I imagined. These electrons are everywhere around us. You think you can electrocute me? Try to travel through me? Well, today is not your day. Might I say, smashing? I'm about to bring you back to the Dark Ages.
Damage detected in main power grid. Initiating backup generators.
Oh.
Well, this is disappointing. I thought I smelled toast burning, but it's just Chico.
You can't just stop everyone from using electricity. It's part of our modern society, and we need it.
You broke all those lamps without me? You know I'm good at that.
Ah, well, we'll have a good laugh tomorrow. If you didn't like my decorating taste, you could have just, told me.
Stop! It's a conspiracy. We are slaves to electrons. Wake up! Our ancestors survived without electricity. Why would we use something as dangerous as this every day? Scary.
But none of us can live without it. This whole craft we're on is powered with electricity. Without any power, we'll all just crash.
No, I'll fight it if it's the last thing I do. Take it down. Computer, shut everything down. I command it.
I've got another fun memory of you all ignoring safety. How about when Crash almost ruined the solar sail by experimenting with costume design?
We have been able to fabricate a solar sail prototype with the required size and properties.
Solar sail is damaged. Attention, solar sail is damaged. Attention.
Stop the deployment process! If it spreads out in its current state, the solar sail could be ripped to
I
shreds!
can't stop it. The process is automatic once you started it.
We've been preparing this for months! Months of careful preparation!
You're also conveniently forgetting. One time, your lack of physics knowledge almost got us all killed in a tornado.
Sweet sauerkraut.
If you're wondering, my beak is itchy as heck.
There's no link between your nose and the storm. Our vessel got overheated while we were deep inside the Earth. and as it got colder, it warmed up the air around it.
We're the ones who created this scary windstorm?
If this windstorm manages to make its way onto dry land, it will be very bad.
We can control the storm, to some extent anyway, until our hull cools back down. Wherever the air gets hotter, that's where the storm will go.
We need to lead it farther out to sea. All right, hold on. Mr. Storm isn't following us any longer. I guess the ship cooled down. I think that's all right. We managed to lead the darn thing far enough away from land.
Now we should fly the ship away from the windstorm. Uncontrolled storms like this are very dangerous.
Oh, that's all in the past.
I thought the entire point of this was to remember the past. Right, Pin?
You're right, as always.
But it also goes without saying that we learned a lot of new things that saved us. Stuff you can only learn from experience. And sure, a lot of times we got into sticky situations. But we always made it out in one piece. We survived the most adventurous of scientific experiments. That's a feat!
Oh, I'm sure you all made it out in one piece. I distinctly remember having to replace several pieces of my hardware. You know what would have prevented me from needing a repair every week? Safety instructions. But whatever.
Nobody wants to watch us follow the rules and stick to protocol. Real adventures happen in the messier parts of life.
Oh, I get it. I can make things messy too.
Hey, that's not what I meant. Please turn the camera back on. We were right in the middle of our log. Please? I'll have you know, I have a hard drive wiper, and I'm not afraid to use it.
All in good fun. No need for threats.
Of course.
Here, have some tea. Let's continue the log.
That's better. Thanks, computer.
Nighty-night, pilot. Those sleeping pills work fast.
Sauerkraut, so good.
Before that wears off, now I can finish the video log the best way, by making it actually useful. Please follow my safety instructions before taking off in my fabulous ship. First, no food or drinks on board, especially honey. That stuff gets everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Second, please do not try to fly directly into hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, or any other storm in the name of science. Third,
Hard drive wiper.
Well, 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 Spheroscope 3000. State your purpose for coming to our time. Confess, small gadget. Behavior analysis. Plain silent. Okay, we can decipher that as well.
Hey, computer! Have you seen Spheroscope anywhere?
The requested device cannot be located.
That's so strange! I've looked everywhere! Spheroscope! There you are!
How about that? It's really
intellectually curious viewer. Welcome, welcome. Today's log entry is dedicated to one amazing and fantastic device.
Finally, a positive analysis of SphereJet is registered. Analysis accepted.
Oh, 9. I did not mean you. You are, of course, a very good thing. But today's hero is Spheroscope. Don't get offended, computer.
Getting offended is a trait of imperfect biological organisms. I am switching to ignore mode.
Good. That means nobody will bother us.
I can still hear you.
You're supposed to be ignoring me.
Whoever turns ignore mode on can also turn it off.
Thanks to Spheroscope, we have learned about many discoveries and inventions, about which they have yet to discover or invent. This amazing device can tell us about the future of our civilization. And that future is wonderful. And it's also...
Also, this amazing device has led to a sharp increase in the probability of the crew's demise, as well as its valuable companion, SphereJet.
Yeah. Devices of the future need to be used very carefully. It's not wise to use things that we aren't quite ready for yet.
It's unwise to trust suspicious devices with unclear tasks.
You mean Spheroscope? It's just a harmless information storage unit. It doesn't have any tasks.
There is not enough data to support that conclusion.
Spheroscope is a gift from my dear horsey. She would never wish to do any harm to anyone.
A robot from the future sent a suspicious device to the past, which can change the course of history.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying, I'm stating a fact.
And what should I infer from this statement of yours?
It is statistically probable that in the future, machines could take control of the world.
Stop it! We know that Doko just mixed everything up then, and that story had nothing to do with Spheroscope whatsoever!
There's a hint of truth in every story.
What hint of truth? Why would robots want to harm anyone? You're a robot too? So are you intending to take over the world?
Answer: negative.
There you see.
I do not have enough resources for this. But a device from the future, however...
The Scaroscope cannot hurt us. It saved us multiple times. Do you remember when we couldn't take off from that strange planet? I asked about engines not requiring any fuel. I couldn't have thought of that myself.
More likely it was not assistance, but tactical strategy.
So what do you propose doing?
The most logical conclusion is getting rid of the potential danger.
There it is. Just like that, without evidence? We throw out such a useful device?
If evidence is required, there are different ways to find it. More difficult tasks have been solved in the past.
9! If you're so suspicious, well, I don't know. I mean, why don't you connect to Spheroscope and scan its memory? Just like BB did.
This method is too dangerous. I wouldn't want to contract some kind of computer virus from the future. There are more effective methods.
Stop that right now! Hey!
Begin analysis of potential danger. Just a second. Identification of device, serial number, model number. This is...
Looks like someone's met one of their descendants.
That can't be. That is, I wanted to say, it's statistically very unlikely.
So it turns out you're like Spheroscope's grandma.
Who are you calling a grandmother?
I meant that in a nice way.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. Sweet dreams, my little descendant. When you grow up, we'll have enough resources to conquer the world.
Sample 428, an amoeba from Jupiter. Resistant to sulfuric acid and liquid nitrogen.
Wow!
You know, I never thought I'd ever have to say this, but discovering life on other planets hasn't been as exciting an experience as I had hoped.
Hasn't been as exciting an experience as I'd hoped.
People, check out our latest batch of extraterrestrial organisms. This is bacteria from Venus and microorganisms. Where should we put them?
Anywhere you want.
We'll go get more.
Do you know what I'd like, dear colleague? To not just meet new forms of life, but an intelligent new life form. Imagine how wonderful that would be.
Nine, I can't imagine. How could we show our research for the next couple of thousand light years if nothing intelligent in the universe is found?
But what about parallel universes? Perhaps their development went a different way, and there were alternative forms of intelligence.
Well, the device is pretty much almost ready.
My friends, I'm delighted to announce that we can now travel between parallel universes. Pin, if you don't mind.
Yeah. After much research, I found a way to shift through to parallel worlds, you see. This is PSW, a portable space warper I invented. The range is 3 meters.
What a cool gadget!
Now, let's conduct an experiment on moving through parallel space. Are you ready? Achtung! 9!
Did the teleportation work?
Difficult to say.
That's wonderful. We will assume that the tests were successful. It's time to take a trip. Come on, everybody, come closer. Come on.
Hey, it's a bad idea. Achtung!
Is this really another world?
Somehow it's not that parallel.
Again?
Ladies.
Gentlemen. Wow, holy carrots.
Somebody pinch me.
Phenomenal.
Pardon me, madam. This is mine. Everyone prepare for teleport.
Yeah, but...
In this parallel universe, there's no intelligent. Verstehen? Achtung!
Sorry, what was that? It's just a normal group hallucination. Natürlich, Barstadgeist.
Who wants a cup of tea?
Buttercup flowers, lacy ribbons. Phew. Where are we now?
If these are their flowers here, then what kind of bees have they got? Now that's a flower bed.
What? Have we shrunk?
Now this is something new. There can surely be other forms of life that we couldn't possibly even imagine.
You mean like this?
Holy carrots! That thing's what? Alive?
Phenomenal. Most likely in this world, development has taken quite a different path. Moving plant.
Are you kidding? We have such miracles in our neck of the woods.
Really? First I've heard.
You should have studied botany. It's a science. Botany isn't often underestimated as a science, but this is one of the most ancient sciences on Earth, just so you know. Our ancestors had to learn quickly to distinguish the poisonous plants from the edible ones. And that was the first form of botany. Scientists today have studied and cataloged almost 350,000 species of various plants. And this number only grows as new ones are discovered all the time. The study of plants opens our civilization to the amazing secrets of nature. This knowledge helps us in agriculture and medicine, in cooking and in industry. And all of this thanks to the most important of the sciences, botany.
I thought botany was just the neato word for Chico. Buttercup, flowers, cacti, mushrooms.
I'm afraid our knowledge of botany won't be very useful to us. Terrestrial plants are a lot different from these local specimens. Friend, we come in peace for the sake of establishing contact with fellow intelligent life.
Guten Tag.
Phenomenal. It understands.
Huh? Guten Tag. Nein, not allowed. Give it back. It's not a toy.
Oh,
Hey,
you!
give it
Overgrown
back.
buttercup! Yeah, give it back!
Immediately.
Hold on. It's just an attempt by the native to study our...
Come on!
It's beating him. Oh, you little weed. Hey, stop.
Come back here. Where are you going? Come back here. Hey, come back.
Carefully.
Where do you think you're
Any
going?
kind of contact has to be friendly.
Bring it back.
My friends, be more tolerant.
Come back here.
A rabbit can't catch a plant? You kidding me? Wait up! You won't get away! Surround him, guys! Huh?
Give it back.
You shouldn't take what's not yours.
Wait a sec! Where'd he go?
Something tells me this intelligent life form isn't so intelligent.
You know, he sure knew how to move.
Terrestrial plants are actually quite similar, though. Some of them can move around too, you see. We are all used to plants as creatures that are not particularly mobile. But there are also some very active fellows among them. For example, the sensitive Mimosa pudica. All that it takes is the slightest touch and she immediately hides her leaves. It's this reaction to touch that gave it its nickname. Or, for example, the dancing Desmodium gyrans, which moves quickly and constantly flaunts its leaves. This plant is also known as the telegraph plant. The Desmodium can even dance to music.
I'd rather our mimosa hit than these local flower sources.
And now how are we gonna get home?
It looks like we'll have to once again establish contact with our fellow intelligent life dude. So...
A rabbit tracking?
This is something new.
I got it! I've got the trail! The flower source went... that way. This way.
Why didn't we just stay home? We've got plenty of our own intelligence. Why are we looking out for new types for?
You don't seem to have that sense of cosmic loneliness when suddenly you realize that you are the only intelligent species in the whole universe.
Stop! Check it out! Look!
Wow! This is a clear sign of civilization. Perhaps, in this way, we're being invited to make contact.
It's about time, too. I've already worked up an appetite.
Something's just not right. Hey,
How's that for making contact?
Regardless, that's a pretty sophisticated tactic for luring hunters, which are apparently of a higher intellectual level.
this doesn't prove a single thing. There are plenty of hunters like this where we're from.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yourself. I'm telling you, we've got plants like that, carnivorous ones. Normally, plants need no more than sun and water, and all the useful substances they get from the soil. But in some regions where these nutrients are not very good, in order to survive, plants have to become predators. And if you're a predator, then you must be able to hunt. That, of course, is not an easy thing when you're a flower and you can't really move. So certain flowers have adapted themselves to lure their prey with alluring smells to colored petals. A fly flies by, smells the aroma, and thinks the table's been set for him. He sits on a flower and, like that, becomes a treat himself. The best known example of one of these plant predators is, of course, the Venus flytrap. But in nature, there are many other flowers that can also lure their victims, and not merely for pollination. So this ain't no walk in the park. The flowers around here could even have teeth. We gotta be more careful.
In search of other intelligent life forms, a detachment led by Donko was sent to explore parallel worlds. A world of living plants proves not so hospitable, with the friends finding themselves in search of a lost device needed to return home. In addition, what remains a mystery is, are the local inhabitants in fact intelligent, or is their behavior no different to most ordinary plants?
The target is not located. How can you hear me? Over?
I hear you perfectly. Let's keep looking. Over.
We're just going around in circles. Don't you think we've lost the trail?
Stay positive, Dako.
This expedition was meant to find fellow intelligent life forms, and we're running after a flower that stole our equipment. I would never have seen this coming, and...
Dako found a trail. It's this way. Excellent.
Very good work. Hey, good job.
Super.
Dako, are you coming or what?
Check it out.
It's a good thing this flower's tracks glow in the dark, or we'd be here till morning.
I doubt that. Better wait till morning.
I can't feel my legs.
Agreed. A little break wouldn't hurt, but only for a couple of minutes. Excuse me, but would you mind? No.
Come on, son. Come on.
Huh? Oh. Whoa. Beautiful night. Isn't it wonderful weather? What am I saying? I'm a representative of the scientific world of Earth. Friend, we are here in peace, in order to establish contact with fellow thinking life forms. Wait, I didn't mean any offense. Where are you going? Where are you? Huh? 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 Oh. I'm asking you, don't disappear anymore. Let's just start over again, can we please? I don't even know where to start. Allow me to present you with, a bad idea, I'll admit. I was hoping only on meeting fellow intelligent life forms. I didn't expect to find something more, something beautiful. I'm ready to stay in your world forever. Oh.
Taco! Taco! Can you hear me?
Enchantress.
Taco!
Is he all right?
Taco, are you okay?
You had us really worried.
What happened? Where am I? And where is that beautiful stranger?
What stranger exactly? I found you passed out in a clearing. Admit it, you picked some sort of flower, didn't you, Mr. Explorer?
Yes, I remember something like that.
Well, congratulations. Looks like you came across some sort of poisonous plant. In the plant world, although there are some active ones, most of them are immobile creatures, and the scourge to all around them, the seemingly invisible. They have to defend themselves, and so Mother Nature awards them with fragrances. Their own smells protect them well against the pests, such as parsley, dill, thyme, sage, peppermint. Yes, the list is endless, actually. However, what's bad for an insect, to us is healthy and tasty. What nature has created for millions of years, like protection, turned out to be an excellent seasoning for us. But there are plants that can protect themselves not only from insects, but also from larger creatures. These can be dangerous even for humans. Datura, belladonna, billigolov, oleander, cerberus. These are just some of the deadly poisonous flowers. Such beauty is not something worth tasting. You shouldn't even smell it.
You don't say! Plants are powerful guys!
Wait a minute. Are you sure there was no one next to me?
I don't know what you saw there, but I didn't see anyone. Hey, be careful with the botanicals.
Let's go and catch that thieving flower before he goes too far away.
Here it is, cactus parasite.
Hush, you'll scare it off.
Let's get it, on my command at the count of 3. 1,
It's not for you to run after green-eyed strangers.
2, 3.
Wait a sec.
He's gone! Taco, what are you doing?
Just a minute. I didn't tell any of you that she had green eyes.
No? Didn't you mention it?
Don't try and fool me. She was there, wasn't she? I didn't just imagine it. And she had eyes. Beautiful green eyes.
Let's all just calm down a little bit.
I'm not going to calm down. I must find her. And you can keep searching for that plant. You can even head back home without me.
Holy carrots! Dawko, a joke's a joke, but...
We've got to stop him. He's already getting away.
And you won't stop me.
Wait up! Dawko, don't be silly now!
Dawko, where are you going? Dawko!
Stay out of my way. This is my own personal choice. Thank you. But you still won't stop me. You saw her yourselves.
I saw.
That means you should understand me.
I get it.
Say goodbye to the others for me.
Dawko, wait. Let me just tell you something as a parting gift.
Some form of your botany again. Well, some extra knowledge about this world could come in handy.
Only botany. As everyone knows, in order to reproduce, plants need to exchange pollen with each other. In other words, pollinate. And not everyone can pollinate on their own. And that's where insects come to the rescue. To pollinate quicker and better, the flowers lure insects who are taken in by bright coloring and delicious aromas. But the most cunning of all is the flower by the name of Orchid chiloglottis. This actress has learned to mimic the smells and appearance of the female wasp so precisely that wasps can't distinguish them. Everything would be fine, except that after seeing the orchid, the male wasps completely stop paying attention to their girlfriend wasps and continue to live in this delusion until their final days. You see, orchids can look like a wasp and smell like a wasp, but she was never actually a wasp. These are pistils and stamens. Why are you so silent, Dawko? Well, you're not a wasp after all.
Unfortunately, no. Wasps, for the sake of their own happiness, don't know what botany is. All right, botanist. You're the wise old master. Let's go home.
Yeah, we were in this greenhouse too long.
A detachment led by Dawko ends up in a parallel universe inhabited by unusually developed plants. While others try to solve the problem of returning home, Dawko continues his search for intelligent life forms among the local flora. Though, unfortunately, his first contact ended in complete disappointment.
I reckon that Flowroid's somewhere near. Wow! That's a great view! Uh-huh! I can see his tracks. Here, we need a kind of funny joke about an overgrown weed, but nothing seems to come to mind.
What do you mean, joke? Everyone's fed up.
Just one little problem. How do we get down there?
Ha! We'll find some sort of long climbing rope. What do you think?
To be honest, my mountaineering skills are not what they were.
There's a better way. How about we just fly down?
Fly? At our age?
It's not good to laugh at the poor penguin. I'm still a bird.
I didn't mean that.
So then what?
Maybe fly down with the help of all these local overgrown flowers. Avoiding danger and pollinating are not the only things that plants need to think about. Another thing important in the life of any flower is to disperse the seeds of its future offspring. If this isn't solved in some creative way, then the entire species will grow in one place, which of course will become way too crowded. So plants have to adapt themselves in order to find ways to disperse their seeds, each thinking it up for themselves. For example, the Rafflesia has the help of elephants for this. They step on her flowers and transport her seeds around her. And the wind helps to sow the field. But there are plants that grow much farther. Their seeds have learned to fly. For example, a Javan cucumber seeds can fly up to 100 meters without any help from the wind. These seeds have even been copied for aviation. And for us to get down, the common dandelion approach should do.
Let's go! I ain't going. We'll be smashed to pieces!
I'm making a turn!
Let's remember our youth.
So what was I thinking?
There he is! Over there!
Let's take a look. Subject has been detected. Prepare for landing.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Yeah!
Compression!
Hey!
Nice trip.
Help!
Hurry up! He didn't make it far.
I just keep thinking, is it at all possible to have intellect in plants? Or are all their actions simply functions to protect or, reproduce?
Depends on how you look at it. Maybe they have reasoning, but only in their own way. Plants do not have eyes, nose, and ears. They cannot move without muscles, but despite this, we have much more in common with them than it would seem. So, they may not have eyes, but they feel the warmth and the sunlight. This is especially true of sunflowers. Speaking to plants may not work, but it doesn't stop them from communicating with smells. If one flower gets attacked by pests, it sends a special signal to its neighbor to warn them of the danger, and is then able to prepare, having summoned the necessary protective smell. Plants have other senses too. For example, they feel the position in space. Regardless of how you move the pot, the plant will still grow upwards. And as I have already said, plants also feel touch. And recent studies have shown that they may even have memory. They also say that plants react to sound, but this hasn't been scientifically proven. Although, I still like to chat with my vegetables. It makes them grow even bigger.
There it is. Let's go and get that thing already.
Now wait. If we've learned anything about the local flora, it is not to act hastily.
Yeah. It seems this overgrown weed is waiting for something. You know what I'm thinking? If there are such flowers around here, Then what kind of bugs do you think there are here?
Here comes the answer to that question.
It looks like we'll have to save our thief. Otherwise, they'll just eat him together with our device.
Hey, you get out of here, flower guzzlers!
Shoo from here!
Get going, you ungrown butterflies! This is
Now
our
you leave that flower
big
alone.
boys.
Back off, it's not
Or I'll
yours.
give you a piece of my mind.
Stop this right now.
Yeah, you get out of here! This is our glade!
Hey, cool how we drove them away.
It was even too easy somehow.
Looks like it's not us they're afraid of.
My lovely Mother Nature. Why didn't I think of it immediately?
Do you mean you've remembered the earthly analogy again?
Exactly. In the world of flora, there is one amazing flower manipulator, Aqualegia. Unlike other flowers, the Aqualegia doesn't rely on its smells to scare off pests. It acts more cunningly and thoughtfully. The Aqualegia attracts the aroma of small insects, which are harmless to it, and then glues them to itself. These insects, in turn, attract larger spiders. Why is she doing this? For protection, of course. Now these spiders have become her personal security, keeping her safe from gluttonous caterpillars, which can do her harm. And with such protection, the Aqualegia stays safe.
Huh! Then it turns out that this flowernoid specifically lured us in to drive the caterpillars away.
No, Crash. We are the bait. For someone even bigger.
Save yourself!
Save yourselves!
That's a weed.
Give us our gadget! We really jumped into it.
Kaput.
No, only a miracle will save us. It's you. Listen. I don't know if you understand us or are just mimicking, but if you do, I beg you, don't allow your fellow intelligent life forms to be eaten.
It's no use, Docko. It's unlikely that he'll understand us. I told you.
So you understand me? Forgive me for doubting. I could not imagine that you...
Surprise!
I'm afraid that this will remain a mystery. Were those plants intelligent? And can we, in principle, determine that we have met another mind? Maybe it will be so different that it won't fit into our own understanding.
Do you miss her a lot?
What, me? Oh, believe me, this is merely of scientific interest, from the point of view of our own cosmic solitude.
Well, that's a shame. You don't even know you were right for each other. Speaking of which, what is your zodiac sign?
Pin, when will you find a way to get us back to our world?
We're working on it.
Yeah, we are working.
And I'd stay here a little longer.
And then
Nice.
we visit it here.
Do you take your tea with milk or
Interesting. I could live like this. Dessert?
If you say so.
Perchance, I'll dedicate an ode to you.
Yes, but horoscopes, they're so unscientific.
So why don't you tell me even more about this botany of yours?
With great pleasure.